Hello everyone, welcome to Doha Heat Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Azza Salah, who is a lot of things. She's an entrepreneur, a writer, and a life coach, and we're going to hear from her soon. But before that, I want to announce that we still have our GoFundMe running, which for animal shelters, to provide resources and funds to animal shelters so they can keep running even after summer. Currently, they don't have a lot of funds and people are not adopting animals because it's the summertime. So it would be great if you guys could donate or share our link with everybody in your network, and that would be great and very helpful for us. Thank you. So getting back to you, Azza, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, and for everyone who's listening to us today, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being on the show. Tell you a little bit about me, about my life, about everything.
Yes, everything.
Okay, my name is Azza Salah. I'm an entrepreneur. At the same time, I'm also a coach, specialized in entrepreneurship and in leadership. I'm also having the position as the section head of institutional strategic planning for Qatar University, as well as I'm a writer. I have a book which is named Be a Successful Leader, with multi different business projects as well.
Wow, that's a lot. How do you handle that in a day? What does a day in your life look like?
I wake up at 5 a.m.
Wow.
I go to sport every day at 6, and I finish at 7, and then I head to work at Qatar University. At the morning, I do like my job, my morning job. And afternoon and evenings, I just have a specific schedule. Like I have days for meetings. I have other days for accepting event invitations and going on and seeing what's happening in Doha at the same time. I have specific days for each project that I'm in, so I don't get like all over myself. Like most of the people have difficulties on having time management and how they can associate themselves to have different projects to work on at the same time. So I worked my way, I think, with having specified timing for everything that I do in my life, and that's what makes me still running, I think.
And you're really young.
Habibti, yes.
How are you able to do this? All of this?
I think it's because I started from the age of 16 years old. I started working, and most of the young people think that they have to finish the university and to get their degrees in order for them to find their first job. But no, that's not the reality. As long as you're capable of doing something in your spare time, it feels so good when you do something that in your spare time, and also you get paid for it. So this is it's a tip, it's an advice for people, like don't wait till you get your degree and then you kick off at the business world or the work field. Just start whenever you feel like you have extra time. You can do some part-time jobs. It's all over the place now. Everyone is offering part-time jobs. If there is no part-time job, you can start by doing volunteering work. So that's what got me going. Like I started from volunteering and then taking part-time jobs until like I started to have my actual work, and by the age of 19 I became assistant director for the Qatar traditional shows, and we traveled the world to represent Qatar at expos all over the world. And from then I realized that my passion is toward talent and towards media and towards these kind of things, and then I chose that as my field of study at university. And then I continued doing what I'm doing now.
How did you get into entrepreneurship?
Getting into entrepreneurship, it's a very interesting story, I think. I never had business in my to-do list. I've never thought that one day I'll become a businesswoman or entrepreneur or whatever. I didn't realize that I was an entrepreneur until I completed my first year after establishing my first business. So it was a little bit weird for me at the beginning. I am a media graduate from Qatar University, and when I kicked off at the entrepreneurship world, I just had an idea, which was my passion, and I just wanted to like kick it off. I wanted to just start and do my idea, but because of the regulations that we have, you have to become under an entity in order for you to do any type of activities. So I didn't know what to do. Then I was like, I love it. I love what I'm doing. I'm just gonna register it as a company because that was the easiest thing for me to do. I registered it as a company. And then hell started because I didn't know like going and having a company will require from you to do a lot of paperwork, will require to do a lot of investigations with different ministries. It will require for you to have a location, blah blah. It's so much headache. So I decided to go to apply for studying MBA as my master degree, but then I got rejected. Then I was like, oh, so what? But that's still my passion. I still want to do that. I want to continue. I want to pursue business. I took a phase where I just paused everything that I do, and I started to read online from Harvard Business School. I started to educate myself. And alhamdulillah, the first project was the first lesson and the biggest lesson for me in my life, which is the first project I kicked off with, which was Sky Climber. After 1 year, I quit my job to follow my passion. I got rejected from studying MBA, but I pursued my studies online. And after 1 year, we got awarded with the Best Business Project Award in Qatar for the year of 2017, also in Guinness Book Record. And we get a lot of recognitions from all over different places. And alhamdulillah, what we are doing so far, it's amazing. We graduated over 200 something talents from different fields. We created our own performance tools. It changed my life. The experience changed my life. Yeah.
Wow. So you're speaking about this project. I know you're talking about Sky Climbers, which is your first project and probably the closest to your heart.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about it. What do you do at Sky Climbers?
Sky Climber, it was, I think I call it my baby, my first baby, even though I'm not married yet, but I call it my baby. I don't know how it's going to feel when I have my actual babies. But for me, I used to breathe Sky Climber. I used to sleep. I used to wake up. I used to I want to have that talent place that gather all the talent from all over the place in Doha in order for us to reach 2022. Everyone is working into the infrastructure business, but what about the human talents? Who's looking into that? Who's developing the talents that we want to develop in order for us to reach to Qatar 22? And if I'm going to develop the talents, how am I going to create a performance measurement system in order for me to measure the performance of a talent? It's very difficult. So I decided to go coaching style at Sky Climber. So it's not an academy. It's not like a university that you go to. It's a life university. It teaches you the technical competence. It gives you the technical competencies required for you to do whatever you do as a talent. It gives you a life experience. We follow a methodology of learning called 70-20-10, which is 70% of the time that any talented individual spend at Sky Climber. It's only practical experience, which is something we didn't have when we were studying. And I'm a media graduate. I spent it most of my years, maybe 3 years, just reading. And my last year, I started to do my practice. And then when I started to really get into the field, I graduated. And then you start to look for a job and they ask you, do you have a practical experience? And then you say I don't have a practical experience, I'm a fresh graduate. And then the suffering will continue because there is no one to teach you the practical experience. And there is no entities that will take you as a fresh graduate to teach you. So because of the need of having that entity that provides a practical experience, I kicked off the Sky Climber program, which that's exactly what we do. We provide practical experience to talented individuals in the fields of arts and media in order for us to give them the push in order for them to continue and to pursue their career work.
And do you think this is going to establish your goals for Qatar National Vision 2030?
I think as one of the main pillars at Qatar 2030, which is the human development, I'm working into that field specifically. And I believe that humans are the most amazing and the most important element that we need to work on, because developing any human or any individuals, that means you're developing a society. And any member of the society, if they looked into their own personal development and they're not just waiting for me as Azza, I could have just waited for the government in order for them to start any new initiative that will fulfill my need. But what is my role as a citizen? If I have the brain, if I can think, and if the society is telling me just initiate, and if you have a great strategic planning towards serving a need of the nation, of course they're going to support you. So I kicked off. Why waiting? And that's my lesson. Again, this is tip number 2, which is I'm giving to all the listeners. If you have an idea that will serve a need And not only your need, not your personal need, but the nation need, the society need, just kick it off. No one will tell you no, and you have no idea how the roads will be open to you, how the doors will be open to you. The road is going to be tough. I'm not telling you it's easy. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. But the lessons that will be learned are lessons that you're going to take for life with you.
That's incredible advice. And going along the same lines, I know that I first got to know about you because I attended the Futurist Female Conference that took place earlier this year.
Yeah.
And you talked about sky climbers, you talked about a lot of things, and you talked about women empowerment primarily. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. You've done so much in your life at such a young age, right? And did you face any challenges being a woman? And how do you think like women of our age, of our generation, can break the glass ceiling in this region?
Women. When people speak about women, I always get a lot of ideas. Like we live in a Muslim society, and us as being Muslims, we forget the most important role model, which is Khadija, radiallahu anha. She was the first entrepreneur. She was a businesswoman. She has this amazing things that she used to do back in the days, and we look now at women and we try to like let them like just stay at home and not they're not really aslan hatta well educated. They're not getting the support that they need in order for them to pursue their dreams, their happiness, the things that they want. I do believe that the woman should always have family as a priority. The women who are workaholic and think only about work and having their families as second as the second thing in their life, those are the women that, for my personal opinion, I think they have to look at their priorities once again. So me as a woman, I believe I should pursue my education, I should pursue my learning, I should pursue becoming a productive personality in the society, because a learning of a woman is a learning of a nation. She is the woman who's going to raise your child. So imagine you invest as a husband, as a father, as a supporter, as anyone in the society. Imagine you invest in a woman. When you invest in a woman, you invest twice the time you invest in a male. Because those women are the women who are going to carry the children, who are going to continue, and they're going to educate those children into becoming effective leaders of tomorrow. So the will education, to kick off with education, you should start with women. So that's what I did, and that's the family I've been raised to. Like my father, my uncles, everyone's like supporting us. Pursue your education. Your education is your everything. Because they believe whatever comes from education, whatever comes from opening my eyes to the world and seeing whatever is there, that's what's going to support me and support the future children that inshallah I'm going to have and all the nation. So that's my idea of women empowerment and thinking about women.
That's incredible and really heartwarming to listen and hear, being a woman. And sometimes, you often hear a lot of people say that, oh, when you're doing something that's like furthering your career, then there are people always bringing you down and saying you're a woman, blah, blah, blah. But it's great to see women like you being an example for the rest of us out there. So thank you for that.
I also would like to tell all the women and all the ladies, and if they're like still listening to us now, have a purpose. When someone have a purpose, that's the person, this is when you're going to start doing a lot of different things. A lot of the women comes out in social media and doing a lot of different things, and they're trying to do different things at the same time. But what is your purpose? When you have a purpose, when you have a message, believe me, everyone will start to support you, even the families that you have at your home. So just have a purpose in whatever the things you decide to do in your life.
Wow, thank you.
Welcome.
Going along the same lines, what other advice do you have for women who are just like us? I also graduated from a media university, and we want to make a mark in this region, in this industry. What is your advice for women who want to do something career-wise? How do they break the glass ceiling? How do they shatter it?
I will tell all the ladies who are like in their early 20s now, you're very lucky that we have social media. Back in my days, when I was 18, when I was 19, I didn't have social media. I didn't have anything. When I kicked off Sky Climber, social media was there like maybe for the last maybe 5 years or something like this. So I was one of the lucky people. I used social media to learn. I use social media to appeal into society. And that's specifically what I'm saying to all the ladies who are studying media or have passion towards media. Don't wait. You have the full package. You can kick off doing social media. It doesn't require you to do anything except will educate yourself, have a purpose in whatever you are trying to do, have a plus one. This is something we're going to talk about later on. Have something that people needs to see, people needs to hear, not something you believe on, not something you like, no, something people wants to hear, have a message. And after that, you can kick off in social media. It requires nothing. It requires 0 riyal. Imagine for all the women who were like living back in the days who didn't have social media. Those are the ones like they have to study and they have to appear in TV or work on TV channels, or that's it. There is a lot of places that now provides part-time jobs as copywriters, as writers, as editors, as whatever, but by just having presses online. So use social media, use the online platform in order for you to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. But before that, don't wait and say like, I kicked off in social media and no one is paying attention to me. Focus more. What is your purpose? Are you feeding a need of anyone else except for yourself? That's not the job of the people to just look at you and say like, hey, we have someone new who appeared in social media. That's the job of you to see what is the need of the society, and based on that, people will start to follow you. So that's my advice to all the women who are studying media.
That's great. For advice for people who want to be entrepreneurs, I know you already said, just start off, just stop thinking about it. But then a lot of people also, I don't know how it was for you, but there are a lot of people who would be a little hesitant. Like, how do you make that first move? What do you do? They're not very... I know you studied a lot.
Yeah.
You learned a lot about it. And that's when you started it off. So what is your advice for people who want to be entrepreneurs?
Are we talking about Qatar or all over the world? All over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, if we're talking about Qatar provides you with all the needs and all the requirements. You just need to knock the doors. Knock the door of QDP, Qatar National Bank. Knock the door of Qatar Business Incubation Center. And you will see like everyone's like opening the doors for you and asking you, what do you need? They even offer free workshops, but who goes there? No one. I feel ashamed when the world is like reaching into the world of entrepreneurship and everyone is saying like, I want to kick off, but I don't know how. And when there's a workshop that's being there and it's free of charge for everyone to attend, no one is there. So first step says, look into the places that provides entrepreneurship learning and start going. Things will not come to your house. Things will not knock the door for you. You need to knock the doors and you need to search and you will find. That's for Qatar. As for international, that's the most amazing market. You can just write in YouTube entrepreneurship and you will have multiple lessons. You'll have multiple coaches. I have a coach who didn't even see me. I have Jimron as my coach. And he didn't even see me. He passed away right now. But he is the one who taught me everything that I need to do in terms of personal development and in terms of entrepreneurship. Did I went to the US to meet him? Hell no. Did I went to open, I don't know, like have crazy ideas of going to I don't know where in order for me to learn something? No. It's just staying at home in my room and start searching. Be a good searcher. Search for the things that you need and things will come to you.
So be persistent and chase your dreams.
Yes.
Thank you. That's really great advice. To end it off, do you have any future plans that you wanted to discuss with us?
I'm happy that we are having this interview today because last Thursday I just received my intellectual property letter for my +1 business canvas that I established. Innovated a +1 business canvas, and coming from a media background and again not having a certifications in business, and to come up with the innovation which is called a business canvas, and to get the recognitions and the acknowledgements from the business college at Qatar University and the Center of Entrepreneurship at Qatar University, and then after tomorrow I have meetings with QDP and everyone wants to see what is this amazing canvas that I did. And in my consultations, private consultations, I provided to all the startups and the SMEs, and they feel like, wow, it changes their mind. I created a canvas which changes. I always had the urge and always had that I always kept asking myself, how can I turn anything from normal to becoming unique? So I created a canvas which is a 1 page only that drives you to take from a normal idea or your established business from a normal thing to something extraordinary. So it's a strategic tool that will help you and support all the entrepreneurs and all the SMEs to change their projects and to change their businesses to become something unique. And it's a strategic tool because most of the entrepreneurs, when they kick off their business, they teach us, even if we want to learn something, you find like bits and pieces everywhere. But there isn't. I wanted to have something that combines the most important element to have me think strategically for the next 5 to 10 years. I didn't have that. And it was very difficult for me to think strategically ahead. So I created this canvas, which is, again, will turn to your ideas from normal into unique ideas. And the second thing, it will become your strategic tool to guide you towards the 5 and 10 years plans and the goals that you want to do, to guide you to drive your mission, vision, values, which is most of the entrepreneurs kick off their business and they create their vision and mission and values. And those are not really a vision, mission, values. It will help you to do your first campaign and marketing. It will help you to do all this kind of thinking. So I'm blessed that I got an intellectual property for it.
Wow.
I thought like, I don't know, maybe someone in the US, in Canada, I don't know, from all over the world, like did something like that, and they're not going to give me my intellectual property because it's a worldwide thing. So when I received the letter, I was like, wow, that's amazing. And when I received the acknowledgement and the vice president and QU celebrated my inventions, and they're going to start like teaching it and showing it to the business school students. The first question, like always, people keep asking me, are you sure you didn't study business? So that's a tip number 3, since we're giving tips today, which is it doesn't matter what you study, wherever you find your passion in, and whatever like you keep doing in regular basis, that could become your next big thing in your life. So don't only focus on studies as much as you focus on practice. So yeah, that's my next big thing, which is like I'm working on now.
That's honestly incredible. Congratulations. We're really happy for you.
Thank you.
We want you to promote yourself. So do you want our listeners, viewers, where do you want to send them?
Oh, I have to like speak to the camera now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can speak to me.
Oh, I can speak to you.
And
I think it's easier. I think it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because looking at the camera, it's... okay. What do I need to say?
Yeah, where do you have a website?
Yeah.
Instagram?
I have an Instagram account if people want to follow me. It's 3ZZA SALAH, Azza Salah, but with the 3 at the beginning. I don't have a website, but I will share the link in my Instagram account. And if they follow me, my first platform is Instagram. Once they follow me on Instagram, they will find my Twitter, my Instagram, and all these other things.
All right.
All other platforms.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It was honestly a pleasure, and we're really happy for you.
Thank you.
So yeah. Thank you everybody for listening to us, and see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.